Oh, come on, bro! Not again! Do you think I've got another cheeser? I don't really trust this guy. The way he's maneuvering around his probe makes me a little bit anxious. I've got Protoss anxiety right now, bro. This is not good. Hey, thank you very much, Argarok. Oh.
Our drones are under attack.
This is odd. Don't we like spine push this? Actually, I'm not sure. Is this an immortal juggle or like what is this? Because if it's an immortal juggle, I gotta like get some drones first. Yeah, it's. I think that's what it is. So one thing we used to do against this back in the day was like swarm hosts. I haven't played against this in quite some time. Double robo? Okay, we are definitely going swarm hosts. Bear with me, guys. This is gonna be bad. Loco supply blocked? I wasn't supply blocked, bro. Well, I mean, if I was, then it was intentional. I don't know exactly how many gases we would take for that kind of stuff, though. I think we also keep producing queens. We're done droning right now for sure. May have actually made a little bit too much. Oh my god. So swarm hosts are not cheap, by the way. I'm sure you guys know that. We're probably gonna have to give up our natural here at some point. So at some point, once we have enough swarm hosts, we can basically break all of this quite comfortably. It's just that we have to obviously defend in between waves. And that stuff is really tricky. So it's gonna take us some time. Keep in mind, he's obviously not expended here either, right? I got one of his robos.
We require more Vespine gas. Our forces are under attack. The hive cluster is under attack. Mineral field depleted. Our forces are under attack.
Am I okay? I really need another, Oh.
Unacceptable command. Our forces are under attack. Mineral field. Our forces are under attack. The hive cluster is under attack. We require more Vespine gas. We require more Vespine gas. Our forces are under attack.
New subscriber detected.
I don't know if he's got another base somewhere.
Our forces are under attack. We require more minerals. So more overlords. Mineral field depleted. We require more.
I have not played against something like that in a while. That was cool. This was one of those builds that took a while to come around. Like, I remember when people like Haas first started Immortal juggling like a year ago. Nah, this is not even a year ago, like 2 years ago. So essentially what Protoss is trying to do is they're trying to force Zerg into one base and then they expand. Usually they expand on their side of the map, but this guy expanded on the high yield gas base, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyways, so basically they get like 2 Immortals and then a Warp Prism and then they go from there. Now, there's a couple different ways you can respond. Either you go Roach Ravager and you kill this before it like gets underway, which never really worked well for me. Or you go for, you know, for example, a Zergling run by. Or, you know, I guess that's 3 ways. You go for like what I did right here. Now, the response that I went for with the Swarm Hosts and the Nydus Worm, it's odd. And when I first saw people doing it, I was like, this is never gonna work, right? The thing is, at some point, you get so many Swarm Hosts. Well, you don't really need that many, but you can basically like keep them at bay and you can start getting multiple waves of them, right? So initially, like you have like 5 of them, so you have to use them all at once. But at some point, you can start splitting them up. And the cost efficiency of these units is absolutely ridiculous. Like, Immortals with a Warp Prism is obviously super, super cost efficient. But Locust and, well, I mean, the fact that they have constant free units are ridiculously cost efficient. Assuming you actually get some damage done, right? So initially, we're obviously not in a good spot. But I've been mining a second base for a little while. And now we can start doing some counterattack aggression. Because, I mean, he can't really push up this ramp because of the queens and the spore. He's scared of losing the prism. Like, if he loses the prism, it's game over right away. And we're starting to nibble away at a lot of the things over here. I thought the Zerg counterattack was nice too. I should have done this earlier. Whew. Now, this is where, like, I had to start thinking a little bit because I was like, okay, so like I said, normally they try and go for your base and then they expand behind it. Where is this expansion? So I start looking around the map, trying to figure out what's going on. Figured the high yield gases would be the most likely one. So we find out that he's located over there. And now we have so many swarm hosts. I mean, now I'm at how many? 17. We can start splitting them up. So a little bit of Nydus Swarm host shenanigans as a legitimate game. Pretty cool. Yeah, they deal so much damage. It's kind of ridiculous. So the reason why swarm hosts fall off in like regular games quite a bit is because they're so supply heavy. So as you can see right here, like I'm at 113 supply. Or 114. I don't actually have that much. So normally if like Protoss gets up to like 120 supply, you're gonna be maxed out. And obviously your army, you know, is peaking right there. And Protoss is just gonna get stronger. But obviously if it's a one base play, you can't get that far. So that was cool. Yeah. I haven't used swarm hosts, I don't think, this entire year. But cool to see that they still have a place. I remember though when I first played this, when like first someone came up with this strategy where you go Nydus Swarm host and stuff against it, there's so many hotkeys going on and like so many different things moving that it's really difficult to get a good feel for the game, I suppose. You know, it's different than like Roach Ravager and stuff. Yeah, so far for me, the swarm hosts, for this year at least, have a 100% win rate. Nice.